Good morning to all our new users of SmartSuite. It's my privilege to walk you through all the features and functions. This is going to be a 30-minute quick get to know the system of SmartSuite library. And we're going to be dealing with the inquiry screen to start with. The first thing that people see when they log on to the system or call up your school system. Now, when they log into SmartSuite or when they bring up the SmartSuite, they will have an address, a web address, and the web address will be the school name .functionalsolutions.com.au. When they bring it up, there's two options that you can set and you can tell us which one you like. My recommendation is the inquiry screen, the opaque screen. You can have a home page, and on that particular home page, what you can do is you can set it up so that you've got a whole bunch of icons and a whole bunch of information there, and then they have to pick to go to the search screen. Okay, and let me just spend a minute on the history of filling the front page up with all this irrelevant stuff that students and teachers are not interested in. So let me just show you about Yahoo, the search engine. When Yahoo was around, it was the most popular search engine, and here you can see all the different search pages and different versions of the Yahoo search page. And what you'll find is it was full of information, absolutely full, and you could click to go to all over the place. And of course, then Google came around, and overnight Google came a phenomenal search engine that everybody went to, and Yahoo became obsolete overnight. Now let's have a look at the Google search engine. That's it. No information on there. Basically it says, I'm a search engine, you tell me what you want and I will go and find it for you. So if I go cat and I hit enter, what will happen is all the relevant items for cat will come up, and I can go to the next page and next page and next page. I don't get, and if I wanted an article, I can open the article that I want. Okay, I don't get a whole bunch of irrelevant stuff on the system like the Yahoo or pages. And you will have some library vendors that will tell you that you need to have a pretty page and you need to put all these different options on it, and people will gravitate to your library. Google has proven that to be totally untrue. However, should you want to go down that path, we have that facility, but my recommendation is why not land on the search page, so straight away people can go in here and do a search of cat. Exactly the same search, and all the material on cat will come up. Okay, and they can go ahead and they can say, I want cat, and I also want library. So the system has to have the word cat and library, and you can add as many words as you like as you go along, and as you keep adding more words, it'll filter the search for you. Okay, now what you can do is you can say, no, I'm after, is it catastrophe or is it catalog? So if you go and type in cat and you just wait a minute, you'll get a search that will allow you to see all the other words that starts with the syllable CAT. So that's what we call predictive searching. So if I go here and cat heart Michael, it'll bring up all the material on him. If I get rid of that, okay, and I just do a search of Michael, it'll bring up all the books that have Michael as the author. I can say, no, I'm just interested in Michael, period, full stop, anywhere in the collection. And when I do a search of Michael, I'll get a whole bunch of other stuff, but it might give me Michael in the author, Michael in the illustrator, Michael in the title, Michael in the comments. So let me explain how the smart search work. Kids love smart search and teachers love smart search because it says, give me a word, any word, and I will bring up all the relevant material. So it's not saying I'm going to give you all the books that have Michael in it. it's saying I'm going to bring up all the books where Michael is relevant. Now, when we talk about relevancy, the reason why Google became so popular is because Google brings up a relevant search and nobody goes past the first or second page. In this case, when I go Michael and I scroll down, it'll load the next page. And I scroll down again, it'll load the next page. So the most relevant books are up the top, the least relevant are down the bottom. And eventually you'll get to books that it'll still have Michael in it, but not as relevant. So that's a relevancy. It's like a Google search, and that's what we do. Okay. However, if you are a librarian and you're very specific and you know that it's in the title, you can just click on title and then click on Michael. And it'll only bring up all the books with Michael in the library. Okay. And there's no others. Michael in the title. Now, if I go back to my original search, so when I logged into the system, what happens is when every library patron looks at your collection, when they bring up the landing page, which is the OPAC page, there will be material up here. What material is this? And the important thing for you to know is that this is the material that was the most recently added. So that was added, the last item into the collection. Now, if I add a new item, then this will shuffle down and the new item will appear here. If I've cataloged 7 new books, 7 new books will appear up the top and everything will shuffle down. So whenever anyone goes to the landing page of the inquiry screen, it's always the most current up the top. And if I go load more, I can scroll down, that's the next most current, and then the next most current, and it gets older and older and older, and I can keep shuffling down, and eventually, if you've got 40,000 books or 100,000 books, eventually you'll get to the oldest book that was ever added, the very first book that was added 6 years ago, 7 years ago, or whenever it was you came onto the system. Okay, so by default, what you're looking at is all the most current items. Okay, now if a teacher says to you, can you send me all the material we've got on World War? And you can say, sure, not a problem. So what you can do is you can type in World War. You can do any kind of a search. If you want to then give this search results to a teacher or a student or a parent that's asking for a list of resources, it's really easy. All you do is you click on Advanced Search, and the advanced search will come up, and you can see, you can say, no, not with keyword, but with subject equal to World War, and with author equal to so-and-so, and with genre equal to this, and a call number equal to this, or location equal to this. So you can define your search. So I'm saying with keyword equal to World War. Now I'm not doing a relevancy search, I'm doing a keyword search, and I'll go external link. And it'll say the link has been copied to the clipboard. So all you do is you open up your email and you'll create an email to the person who asked you for the information. Then you do right click on the email and you just paste that link which is copied to your clipboard. Just go paste. It's a dirty great big link. You don't need to worry about it. Just paste it in there. And when the person clicks on that link, what it's going to do for them is it is going to do the search of the term that you created and provided, and what it will do is it will give them those search results as at the instance of when that search was created. Okay, so you might have created that link 6 months ago, but when they click on the link and that you've sent them 6 months ago, this will be all the new books. And if this book was deleted or purged from your collection and so was this, or this book was on loan, it will not show up on this item. Okay, so when they click on this URL up here, which is the link on the clipboard, they will always get the most current item. So that's the advantage of the OPAC search and sending information to people. Okay, so it's a dynamic result. But you might turn around and say, you might have a patron, which could be a librarian, could be a parent that says, my son is a very good reader or my daughter is a very good reader. Could you recommend some resources? You can go, absolutely. So what you do is you can go ahead and you can say, I want to do a search, and I want to search not in, I'm going to search for fiction. Okay, so there's all my fiction resources. Now, when you get your fiction resources, you can go to the list builder. And you click on the list builder and you'll create a new list. And John's father asked for it. Call it John's father list. Okay, and you go, I want to create that list. So you just click on that. And now what you would do is you'll say, I want to add resources to John's father's list. And I'm going to add this one and this one. Now I can do another search, and I can search for a particular book. And I'm going to also add this one, and I'm going to add this one to the list. Now that you've got a list, you can also add YouTube records, you can add websites. And if you now want to send that to John's father, just click the share icon, put in his email address, and then just share it. And that's how you can specifically choose, rather than get a search term and give them a dynamic list, you can give them an individual list. Okay? Or a teacher asks for you because she wants to give this list to a group of students, change it to a collaborative list, which means that when the students get the emails of this list that you have started, they will be able to add their own searches, and everybody else in that collaborative list will get all the new additions other people in that group have asked. So that's one of the fantastic ways of not only searching, but getting information distributed to your users. The next thing we're going to do is adding patrons to the system. So I've got a new student and I need to add him because I imported all my patrons at the start of the year. So if you want to add a patron, change a patron, delete a patron, to do anything, you have to be signed in. See how it says sign out? Sign out means you're signed in. So you need to be signed in, and when you sign in, if you click on that button, there's all your parameters for you. I want to add a patron, so I'll go to Patron Management. And this is where you can do anything with the patrons. Okay, this is where you go to add a patron, change a patron, delete a patron. Whatever activity you want to do with a patron is all done through that. And I'll go new, and this is my barcode of my patron. If you don't have a barcode at the moment because it comes from the admin, just make one up, put in a whole bunch of numbers, and then go and say the first name is Mike, the surname is Sanderson, and the email address you don't have to put in. The classification, he's in year 12, and the homeroom, he's in year 12. Okay, so we'll go down and we'll get a 12, and his role is a student. Now, when the user needs to log in, they'll need to log in with that barcode. Or you can also give him a username. My recommendation, if you're going to give them usernames, especially if they're primary schools, make it their first name, full stop, Sanderson. The case is not sensitive, so you can put in uppercase, lowercase, proper case, doesn't matter. So you can say, all right, Mike, this is your barcode, or you can log in with your first name dot surname. Okay, and they can log in with either of those two. Now, once he's on the system and you've now got a proper barcode for him, you can do a find, call him up, and then just highlight that and put in his proper barcode. And you can do that. Okay, now email address. If you want to put his email address in, by all means do it. mike@school.edu.au. Okay, make sure it's an educational email so you can put in his email address. Now if you do that, Mike can now log in using either his barcode or his username that you've created or his email address. He can use any one of those three to log in, but it will ask him for a password. So if you're creating Mike for the first time, click on change password, and my recommendation is make the password P-A-S-S-W-O-R-D, all in lowercase. Confirm the password P-A-S-S-W-O-R-D, okay, and then go change password. Now his password is password, and then it says change password on next login. If they're a secondary school, you might want to tick on that and say yes. So now what will happen is you can also go email the login, and what will happen is if you click on that, then an email will go out to this person, say that's your barcode, that's your username, your password is password, log in. When they log in, because you said change password on next login, it'll ask them to create their own new password. Okay, and all you need to do is just go save, right? And it's already Mike Sanderson's used. So let me just give him Michael Sanderson's, create that in there. Michael Sanderson's. I've already got a Mike Sanderson. So now I'll go save, and that's it. I've created that person. Okay, and if I click email, then he'll get an email address there. Now, if you want to upload his photograph here, why not take your iPad or your laptop, use it to photograph him, or your phone to photograph him, save it on your laptop or your computer desk, and then while his record's up, just go upload. When you click on upload, it'll go to your My Computer. So go to where you've stored the photograph. So if there's a file here that says photograph, you just click on it and then go open, and straight away his photograph will now appear here. That's how easy it is. There is a much easier way to bulk upload all your photographs, okay? But you can ask us about how to do that. There's also a much easier way to import all your patrons from your admin system. And if you want to learn how to do it, ask us and we'll show you. And my recommendation is import all your patrons at least once a week or once a month, and that way you don't have to change any of the information. So if their information changes, go ahead and just import all your patrons. As if his emails have changed or his homerooms have changed, all that will automatically get updated. And to do a bulk import, once you know how to do it, which is really easy, it'll take you all of about a minute, and everyone's details get changed automatically. If you're creating a teacher, and Mike Sanderson's is a teacher, then you'll just go and say, no, he's not a year 12 person, he's a librarian, okay, or he's a teacher, okay, and his homeroom is also a teacher. So you can go and put in here that he's a teacher, okay, and all right, and his role is not a student. So you can get rid of the student role, and then when you click in here, you can choose the teacher role. Now if I save it, what's going to happen is they will get the role of a teacher, which means they can do everything a student does, except they'll have additional feature. They'll have TV for education access, okay? But they won't have all these options on the menu. They won't be able to circulate and catalog and report and stuff up your system. However, if they are a librarian or a new person that's working in your library, you can come in here and say, no, they're not a teacher, they are a librarian. So just give them a librarian's role, okay? And then get rid of the teacher role. So when you do that, when they log in, they will get all these options. If you want to find a patron, click on find, who you're looking for, and I can just put in S, anyone that starts with S, and then go down and go, oh yeah, that's the patron that I want, and that's him up there. Excuse me. If you want to delete him, all you go is delete. Okay, and I'll always say, are you sure? So you can't accidentally delete somebody. Okay, and if you want to change his information, go ahead and change it. So adding a patron, changing a patron, deleting a patron is all very, very simple. From here, we're going to go to add, change, or delete a catalog record. Really simple. Now that you know how to deal with patrons, how to add a patron, change a patron, delete a patron, find a patron. So we'll go to the menu, and we go to catalog, and we go to catalog. When you go into catalog, it's going to bring up the catalog record and the cataloging screen. And if you've done any work with patrons, it's exactly the same. You've got the find, you've got the new, you've got delete. So if I go find the catalog and I'm looking for a book with cat in it, okay, there's all my books, and Matthew Flinders Cat, there's all my information. If I've got any additional titles, you put it in there. If you've got a series, you put in there. If you've got an author, it goes in here. If there's 2 authors, you just click on that and put a new author. The illustrator, the subjects, there's all your subjects. You want to add a new subject, just go to a blank line and just type in, okay, we'll go ability fiction. Okay, and you want to add another subject, just go in here and go ANIM, and you can go animal behavior. Okay. And now if I want to go to notes, I can go in here and I can type in the whole Encyclopedia Britannica if I wanted to. Okay, and then it'll give you another blank note. And everything you type in the catalog is all searchable. So if you want to add any of these features, you only add in the information you want. But if you say, yes, but I would like the basic information, then I would like the subjects there. Then I want the illustrator. Then I want the author. Then I want the copies or the publisher or whatever. So if you want to change any of these, that's how you do it. You click on that cog that will allow you to change it. So if I want author and then basic and then I want author, you just click on author and drag it to where you want it. Okay, so there it is. Oops, let me just drag it here. Okay, and now I've got basic and author, and then I want subject. So you go down to wherever the subject is. There it is. Click on subject and drag it to where you want that. And now I've got author subject. If that's the way you want to layer it, you just go save, and now that's the format of the item. If the book doesn't have a photograph, but you've gone and scanned the image or photographed the book and you want to upload it, just click on upload while the catalog record's there. Go to where your images are, okay, and then just click on the record, and it will automatically upload the cover up here. If you want to delete the title, click on delete title and then type in yes and go confirm, and that will delete the catalog record because it's delete title and every copy in there. But if you say no, I don't want to delete the title, I just want to delete a copy. So, or I want to add a copy. So if you want to do anything with the copies or the barcodes, you click on copy. And you can see I've got a barcode called 11 and I've got a barcode called here. If I want to add another copy, in the plus area here, I would just go to a blank one, put in the new barcode number, okay, then I'll put in the call number, so it's F space COU, okay, and the copy status is available. It's not in the storeroom, it's actually going to be stored in the library office. And sublocation is the English section. Loan, it's not a daily loan, it's a fortnightly loan. Renewal, it's a fortnightly renewal. And that's it. And that's how simple it is to add more in. If you want to add the supplier, you want to add the cost to it, that's a plus sign on the end. You click on that and you can go in and you can put in the cost center, the supplier, the cost of the book, the replacement cost. You can add any additional information that you want. If this was a laptop that you've now cataloged, when you click on the barcode, you can go into the assets for that particular barcode of 11. Click on assets. You can put in all the information about the asset. If it's been an asset like an iPad that's been fixed or a laptop, why don't you click on the maintenance, put in the maintenance information about it as well. Okay, so that's how you would do all that information in that book. If it's lost, you can just mark it as lost. And if you want to delete that individual copy, so now that I'm there, you can click on delete, and that will delete only barcode 11, which is different to in the basic area going delete the title. And that's all there is to it. If you want to add a new book, just click on new. It'll say, are you sure I'm going to get rid of all the changes you did? It gives you a blank title, and you go ahead and put in the title, put in the ISBN, and you manually add everything. But why not do this? Why not put in the ISBN number first instead of the title? It's up to you. Put in the ISBN number and then hit that little magic button on the end. When you click on that button over here, it'll say, has been successfully imported from SCIS. So if it exists on SCIS, it imports it automatically. If I go, okay, there it is. Matthew Flinders Cat, all the information's there. If I look at the subjects, there's the subjects. If I look at the series, there is no series. Is there any illustrator? So I can go into notes, just Vikings, who's the author, okay? But when I go into copies, I've got no copies, so I just now add the barcode. That's all there is to it. So when I go back to my basic, that's how easy it is to just manually zap in the ISBN number, click that button. If it exists, it brings it up, and then all you got to do is save. So that's how you do original cataloging. But if you say, no, I don't want to do original cataloging, I'd like to catalog SCIS records. So to do a SCIS catalog, you click on menu, you click on catalog, and don't go for catalog, you go to global catalog. We don't call it SCIS catalog because in our global catalog, you can import records not just from SCIS, but from any other Z39 source like SCIS. So Library of Congress, your local council library, your university library. But we're just going to go global catalog, okay? And it says leave the old record. I go, yep, leave it. So when I go into global cataloging or SCIS cataloging, this is the screen. And if your SCIS cataloging is set up, and I'm going to pretend that it is, and later on I'll show you what you need to set up. But let's pretend that you're up and running and everything's going fine. You want a SCIS catalog. So what you'll do is you'll go in here and you'll zap in your ISBN number, and then you'll put in your barcode, and then you'll put in the next ISBN number, then the next barcode, and then the next ISBN number, and then the next barcode. Okay, and that's all you would do. So it's ISBN barcode, ISBN barcode. You don't have to wait for it to do anything. Okay, if you put in an ISBN number that doesn't exist, which is what I'm doing here, okay, what you're going to get is it'll go to SCIS and check it out, and if it doesn't exist, you'll get a red error message to say the item wasn't found. But that's basically done, and all you do is go home. All your SCIS cataloging is complete. Now, you might want to go in and put the location, the sublocation into the system, the loan period and the renewal period. If that's what you want to do, you should actually come here and say, I'm cataloging some books. They're going to go into the storeroom, and the sublocation is not applicable, and the loan period is fortnightly, the renewal period is fortnightly, the copy status is available, and now I'm going to put in my ISBN number, and I'm going to put in my barcode. And now if you do that, it will inherit all these parameters. Okay, so if they're all the same, you can just go ISBN barcode, ISBN barcode, ISBN barcode for all your fiction books. Now you're going to do non-fiction, change these parameters, then go ISBN barcode, ISBN barcode, ISBN barcode for your non-fiction. Then you're going to do picture books, change all these parameters, and that's how simple it is. And when you're finished, I need to print spine labels. So if you want to print spine labels for everything you've just cataloged, very easy. You just click on print, and it will automatically print the spine labels for all these books that you have just cataloged in the order that you've cataloged them in, so that you can just then peel them off, stick them on the book, and it's done. Okay, so that's how simple it is to just do your SCIS cataloging and your spine labels and do it all in the one hit without ever having to go to SCIS or in the catalog record or do anything else. Okay, now no template configured for the report. That's the message you're going to get if you've never told the system what spine labels you are using. So before you go and do any SCIS cataloging, there is two parameters that you need to do. So let me come back into the system, catalog, global catalog. I've never used global cataloging before, but I want to start using it from now. So if this is your first time into global catalog, this is what you need to do before you even enter an ISBN number. You need to come down to the bottom, and there's an up arrow near the print button. You click on that, go Z3950 databases, and it'll say SCIS. That's what you're looking for. That's all you're interested in. You go SCIS, and in here, you'll put in your ISBN, your SCIS username. And on the right-hand side, you'll put in your SCIS password, and you'll go save or update. Once you've done that, you're now ready to SCIS catalog. If you do not have that, you can't get any data from SCIS. So that's very important. That's step number one for using SCIS cataloging. Step number 2, if you want to also print the spine labels, you need to click on that up arrow and go into default spine labels. When you go to default spine labels, you need to come in here and you need to choose the spine label that you're running. If you use any of these default ones on here, okay, and then you need to hit save, you'll never have to ever worry about formatting your spine labels ever again. Because when you go in, so let's just go back in here. I don't know what spine label I've chosen, but let's go to default spine labels and I'm going to choose this particular spine label. Okay. Now, when it's saved the settings, you must reload that. So I'll go to catalog, go to global catalog. It'll reload my SKIS cataloging. Now that my SKIS username and password is set, my default spine labels are set, I can now go in here and go, that's my ISBN number and my password is, my barcode is that, okay, and then that's my next book that I'm cataloging, that's my barcode. Now if I want to print the spine labels for the books that I've just cataloged, if I go print, the system will just go in, it'll pick up your default spine label that you set in the system and it will load the spine label data into the actual report and then bring it up on the screen for you. Really simple, really good, and up it will come. There it is. And now I can just go print. Okay. But you can say, yes, 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 that's all very well and good, but I want to reuse my spine label. And I've already printed 13 of these labels, so that's good. So blanks, so I say leave 13 blanks. Okay, and then regenerate them. So I can reuse my spine label stationery from other ones. And there it is, it's starting at the 14th spine label. Okay, but the trick to printing spine labels correctly and without having a nightmare, all right, you need to go here, you need to default spine labels, you only do it once and choose from the list. If the spine label you're using is not in that list, you're better off to choose one of those or tell us which ones you're using and we'll tell you if we've already got it. Most probably we have, and then we'll put it on there for you and then you can just make that your default spine label. If it's none of the one because you've chosen to use some obscure brand, my recommendation is spine labels probably cost you about $30–40. You're better off to say, you know what, just to make spine label printing easy, I'm going to choose one of these defaults, or I'm going to ask them which one's the most common one used for people in my area, and then just go and throw out the existing ones and go to the new ones, and you will not have any issues with SKIS cataloging. The next thing we're going to do is circulation. So if you want to circulate, you just click on the menu, click on circulation and circulation. And when the circulation screen comes up, it is always in the default loans. So if you want to loan books out, when you click circulation, you're ready to go. But it may be that you don't want to circulate, you want to check in, it's quiet, and you just want to check in some books. So just click on return, bring your barrel of returned books and just zap in all the barcodes. Zap, 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 just check them all in. And a kid wants to borrow, you just go loan and just type in Smith and it'll come up with all the Smiths and you just chose Mike Smith. And there's all the loans that Mike has and you just zap in his barcode. The patron's book that they want to borrow. So you'll enter the new barcode of the book that he wants to borrow, which is that one. Okay, and there it is. And he wants to borrow another book, which is that one. And it says he's exceeded his limit. You can go, yeah, that's fine. Override it and check it out to him anyway. Okay, so you can go and you can expand that and I'll show you all the information of any of the books that's on there. Okay, now if he says the Garfield Party, can I return that next month because it's a great book and I'm reading all these others and it's going to take me a bit longer to get to this one, but I'm taking it now. So if he asks you to extend that, you can put a tick in there. That's the one you want to extend, and then say, all right, you can bring it back on the 23rd of September. Okay, because that's ticked, now you can just go renew, and it'll renew Garfield's to the 23rd of September. If he says, I'm going away for a month, can I return them later? You can put a tick on there and then say renew all of them to the 23rd of September and go renew. And now they're all renewed to the 23rd of September. Okay. If you don't put a date in there, remember to get rid of that. If you don't put a date in there, and when you click renew, it'll only renew to whatever the normal renewal period is. Okay. So circulation and returns, very, very easy. Okay. Now, if he says, I'm going away, can I please have a list of all my loans so that I can check at home and bring them back? Or if he's got an overdue book. So let me just make that overdue. And I'm going to make that, it was due on the 11th of May. And I'll renew that one. If a book is overdue, okay, it will go red. All right. So, if you want a listing of all his loans or all his overdues, what you need to do is click from here and I go current loans, run that report, and it will do all the loans for this one particular individual person only and not for everybody else, because I've run the current loans for this one particular person. This is not how you'll do loans. This is not how you do overdues. This is only for the one individual person on the system. I'm going to go into reports and we're going to end in reports and show you how to do that in a minute. But let's bring up just the loans for this one particular person. Okay, and what the system will do, it'll take you to the patron report and bring out the reports here. However, if you want to do overdue reports or loan reports, you go to the menu and you go to the reports module and just go to reports. Okay, and when that loads, the reports module is very, very simple and easy to run. So what you will do is you'll just go to overdues if you want overdues, okay, or you can go to current loans. Okay, current loans by homeroom, okay, or by classification. So I'll go by classification and I'll just go open. Okay, these are current loans, and then class grade equal to year 12. Class grade equal to year 12. That's it. And then you just go generate. And that's your year 12. So that patron has those books, that patron has those books. Okay, you can look at it that way as well. Now, let's pretend that you've got a class grade, a classification teacher. You have a year 12 teacher and you want them to go and chase up all the year 12 students. You can still run the overdue report and you can say, I want to email it to the teacher. So you click on email and you'll put in the teacher's name and you'll just go send now. And that's how they'll get it. But if you turn around and say, no, this teacher looks after all my year 12, so you can go, I want to send this on Monday, the 27th at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going to schedule that. So when you click the schedule, weekly, every day starting Monday, okay, you put your email address in there of who you're going to send it to. And what will happen is that teacher will get that overdue report automatically every Monday. And you never have to do an overdue loan report to teachers ever again. Okay, so you can play around with reports till the cows come home, because nothing will ever go to the printer. It'll always go print preview, and then you do a print report at the end of any report you want. So experiment with reports, go down the page and try all the different categories of reports we've got here. Okay, have a look. Have a look at the email logs, the loan histories, the overdue, the patron reports, the reservation reports. Have a look at them. There is no limit to what you can do without wasting paper. I hope you enjoyed. If you need to contact us about anything, you click on the menu button, click on mailbox. And when you click on mailbox, this is how you communicate with us. So I would like some additional training on SKIS cataloging, or I would like someone to walk me through on circulation or on TV for education. So all you do is you click on that, go to mailbox and go to a support ticket and create a ticket. You'll put in the subject and you'll put in the detail of the ticket and you'll go send. And we will then respond to that ticket, and you can say, please call me on such and such a number after 3 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. I need someone to walk me through, and tell us what you want us to walk you through. Or send me a written instruction on, and you tell us that, and you hit that, and that's how we respond to you. And when you log in, you should have no red dot. But when we respond to you, you'll then get a red dot with the number 1 in there, which means we've responded to you once. If you put 7 requests in, 7 support tickets, and we've responded to 3, you'll get a red dot with 3. And then you do need to go in and you do need to click on that and read the instruction that we've sent you. Okay, and when you read the instruction we've sent you, there's a close button. When you go close, then if that was 3, it'll now be 2. That says you've read one of those response. And if you got 2 others there, you need to close those other ones so that it'll then, the red dot will disappear because you've responded to everything we've responded to from your request. Thank you very much, and we hope that you will enjoy SmartSuite, and we also hope more than ever that you will communicate with us through the mailbox and ask us anything. The sky's the limit, and we will bend over backwards to help you on whatever you want to ask us. Thank you very much.